We goes. Good morning, afternoon, sports fans. Is that how you do it?
That's how you do
I
it.
think
Yeah, you
that's
got it.
that's right, isn't it?
That's right. You got it. I like your new
How
mic.
have you been, Corey Brogan?
Good. I've been good.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for pointing out the mic situation. The eagle-eyed viewers, of which I'm sure there are a couple, will notice that I don't have a real microphone. I'm using my phone because I'm a dummy. I'm a grade A ocean-going dummy. I've invested significantly to make this show as professional as possible. Got a new camera and a new laptop, but I didn't have the foresight to prepare the precise cable necessary to allow the camera, mic, and laptop to all work together. So we're pretty amateur today. I know that goes against our mantra of more pro every week, but sometimes there are setbacks. I guess this is the first setback, so forgive me. I'll do my best,
I forgive you.
and we'll try and make it better next week. But now that that's out of the way, welcome to the show. What is this, episode 7?
7, yeah.
Fuck,
Episode
we're
7.
doing pretty good, aren't we? 7 episodes.
Chipping away.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Yeah.
How was your Christmas?
Christmas was good. I had the day off and had a few bottles of wine and had some turkey. Had a few presents. Yeah, it was a good old Christmas. Got to hang out with the dog
Pretty
and
standard
missus.
issue stuff then, eh?
Standard issue Christmas, yeah. And you?
Well, I had an interesting Christmas day, I think.
Yeah, you did. How'd you go?
Is it is it uh showing a lack of humility if I say that it was easier than it maybe should have been?
No, I just think you might have been prepared.
Maybe. Maybe, who knows? But for those who don't know, on Christmas Day, I did 1,000 push ups before noon because my big mouth trapped me into promising doing it before noon. If you haven't seen the video, check it out. It is a long one. It is about 24 minutes long. I did try, Corey, to make it as short as possible, but 1,000 push-ups is actually quite a lot, and it takes a bit of time to get through it all.
And it would look hilarious in like time lapse, just going like stop.
Yeah. I did speed up a little bit of the footage for a lot of them, but there were just a lot of actually quite candid moments as well. So I've added those in. So it is a longish video, but I do think it's worth the watch, and I enjoyed making it,
I
and I
thor-
hope you enjoy watching it.
I thoroughly enjoyed watching it. It was
Pretty
great.
weird thing to do on Christmas Day, though, right?
Did you roll out of bed straight away and just start recording and just jump straight into it? You look pretty tired.
Yeah, I was pretty tired. So I went out. I'm not boozing right now, but I did go out the night before, and I was out with a couple of people who both thought that I couldn't do it. So if you know me at all, if you tell me I can't do it, then I have no choice but to do it. So I didn't get home until it was not super late, but I was so excited. I felt like I was 8 years old again, and it was the night before Christmas.
So you weren't
And what
sleeping.
happens the night before Christmas? I couldn't get to sleep. I honestly, I was probably still awake at 2 o'clock, just amped and ready to go. But I did eventually get to sleep. But then I was up at 6 because I knew I had to do it all before noon. So I woke at 6 o'clock and just got straight into it. Straight
Amazing.
into it. I worked out roughly how many I had to do every hour. It was about 160 an hour to do it. And I just started cranking them out. And in the end, I had fit a bit of time to spare.
Yeah, So where did it start to hurt?
I would say around about 400. It was, you could feel it. There was
Yeah,
a tingling.
yeah,
When I got to about 700 and something, if you see the video, you'll see the exact number. I was doing it in sets of 20, and at around 750, something like that, I couldn't finish 20,
yeah,
and I dropped after. I think I did 19 and I dropped. After that, I dropped it down to 15s, and the 15s were easy. It was only on the 20s and that 17, 18, 19, 20 that it was really hurting. 15s were
yeah.
easy. And then by the end of it, once I'd reached about 850, 900, at that point it was adrenaline will get you through.
Yeah. You had to finish it then.
So I felt good at the end. It didn't feel like it was going to be a struggle. When I knew I had about an hour or so left to do about 100, I thought, this is it.
Well, tell me more about the pigs in blanket. I think that's just as interesting.
Yeah, I mean the video doesn't give the pigs in blankets the time that I put into the push-ups. Maybe because I was just so tired afterwards that I didn't film it as
Yeah,
rigorously.
yeah,
But the pigs in blankets were all cooked the night before
right.
because I needed to get a shot of all of them. For the old thumbnail.
Yeah. It looks great.
So they were all cooked the night before. Well, thank you. They were all cooked the night before, and I decided that I was going to do all the push-ups first before getting into the pigs.
Yeah,
I
the other
thought
way
you got to
around would be
earn.
agony.
Yeah, and I thought about doing like 100 push-ups, 10 pigs, or something like that. But I just thought in the end, let's get that out of the way. Let's get it done, and then we'll crack on with the pigs and blankets.
Nice.
And I think it was about 11:30 that I finished, so I started on the pigs then. Did about 30 or 40 of them,
Yeah.
just a snack. And then I had to go for a nap. I had to lie down for a while. It didn't help that I ate a massive box of Maltesers as well.
Oh my goodness.
Not the small box, the big box.
Yeah.
So I had to have a little nap after that. I was feeling a bit groggy. But then I finished them later on, got through them all. It was relatively drama-free. I did have a big piece of cheesecake as well,
Best
as
Christmas ever.
promised. Yeah, it was a pretty good, pretty good way to spend Christmas. Low key.
Yeah, I'm stoked for you,
Did it
man.
all though. Yeah, I really actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
When I'd done about 800 or 900 push-ups, I thought to myself, I wonder if anyone has done more push-ups than me so far today.
Yeah, yeah.
That'd be quite
Maybe.
interesting to know. Do you think there's anyone out there who did more push-ups by noon on Christmas Day than I did? There's got to be someone.
Some mental. David Goggins.
If you are that person, please let me know, because I'd love to talk to you, because you are a super freak.
We should date this. Maybe it was who did more push-ups than Reese Davis on Christmas Day of 2023.
If you did more push-ups than me on Christmas Day 2023, please let me know. I want to talk to you. I want to hear what you're about. I want to hear your story, because you're a freak.
Nasty.
Yeah, that's pretty badass. Good on you.
Yeah, man. Stoked for it.
So, Corey.
Mm-hmm.
We promised last week that today we would be sharing our goals for 2024.
Correct.
Do you want to go first?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to do one each? One at a
Yeah.
time.
Like a little swap. Ping pong.
Ping pong.
For me, one of my
Number one goal.
one of my goals that needs to be done, has to be done, has to be completed is the half Ironman. I have to do that.
Okay. So that's your number one goal. Why did you get to that? Why is it important to you?
Well, it's also important for me to finish it, and knowing that I finish it, complete it, it's not necessarily the end of the road for my triathlon. It's more of like opening the doors. If I finish it, I can then be like, okay, I can do a half. Let's train for a full. So that's like my midway goal. Yeah.
So if we're doing this show late December 2024 and you haven't done the half Ironman that you set out to do, you'll feel quite disappointed.
And not even just doing it, more like not completing it. I'm gonna have to, if I have an injury, like I'll crawl over the line. Like if I get a flat tire, like I'll push my bike. I don't know what's allowed, but I'll have to cross the line to finish it, no matter what.
Mentality.
So yeah, there's no quitting in that. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the first one.
Okay. Let's just go do all yours first.
Okay.
What's the second one?
Second one is, I think it might be similar to one of yours, but I want to read more books.
I didn't know you could read.
Yeah, Tasmania taught me well.
Well,
yeah,
impressive.
Yeah, I do prefer more pictures. But yeah,
books are better when they have pictures in them, aren't they?
Yeah,
a picture paints 1,000 words. If I was an author, I'd be making sure that there were plenty of pictures in the books, as well as some hard-hitting subject material. Bring back pictures. Sorry to interrupt.
I mean, like with books, it just gets you off Netflix, right? It gets you off Prime. It gets you off Crave. Stop watching TV. Dicking about on Instagram, right? So, I think books are an amazing tool to aid in those distractions.
Can I interject?
Yes.
I have an Amazon Kindle.
Oh yeah.
And I obviously it doesn't feel as good as reading a proper book.
Right.
There's some romance with a physical book, right? You feel like you're a bit more connected to it.
Correct.
But in terms of the ease of reading and making you more likely to read, I can't think there's a much better than a Kindle. Because you can read, fair enough, on an iPad, but there's so many distractions on an iPad. A Kindle, which is a device just made for reading, you can browse on the store and buy the books right from the device. I can't speak highly enough for Amazon Kindles, and we're not sponsored by them yet. But I would say they're pretty good, and if it helps you to read, then it's a great little investment, and the books are cheaper as well.
I think you're right there, because there's a book that I'm reading now that a friend gave me. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's called Sapiens. and
Yeah, I read that a few years ago. It's a good one.
yeah, but it's like that thick.
Yeah.
If you lug that around, like you don't really want to read because you're carrying this book around with you, right? Whereas like the Kindle, kind of like you sit down on the tube or
Yeah,
in the
it's tiny.
cafeteria or whatever. It's
It's not
tiny,
much bigger. It's not much bigger than a phone,
but it's
really.
great. It's great that it doesn't have those like accesses to Instagram or Facebook. It's just like you said, it's designed for reading, right?
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that, and I would also say that audiobooks are pretty good as well.
I bang out audiobooks all the time with my commute.
So if you're commuting or if you're running or in the gym, whatever it is,
I find
easy
though
way
audio,
to take it in.
I find though like audiobooks, you don't get the same. Like I don't have a Kindle, so I don't know, but a book is awesome when you hit the last page and you close the book. You're like, oh, okay, I'm done. With an audio book,
Yeah,
it's like the credits, and then it's like, oh, okay. It's like a podcast, and it's easy. Like if you're driving, like I'm driving to work, like you got to focus on the road, right? So there's like moments where you gap out, you know.
yeah. What I would say about actually reading a book that's good is, especially with heavy subject material, there's often times where you'll have to stop and go back and think about what you just read, and maybe
Yeah,
read it again and fully understand it. With an audiobook, I find you're less likely to do that.
yeah, 100%.
You're less likely to rewind it and listen to it again and think about it because it just keeps going whether you're ready or not.
Yeah,
So for that reason, I would tend to keep audiobooks light and heavier material, read it physically.
yep.
Pro tip for the sports fans there.
Yeah. So my
Okay,
aim,
that's a great idea. What do you have a specific goal for how much you want to read or anything like that?
just I feel like just with all my training, work, life, and all that, I've got to find a point to add that in. So I'm just going to do a book a month, 12 books, non-fiction, just bang out a book a month.
Great,
And if I do more,
love it.
awesome. But 12,
Goal number
12 books.
3.
Goal number 3, more hikes. So I want to do more hikes
Ooh,
around the
that's a
area
good one.
that I haven't done. So uh, there's a couple of mountains in this area in where I live, and then obviously surrounding areas that I've had my eye on for a very long time. So I wanna do those.
That's such a good goal for you and where you live.
Yeah.
I mean, that obviously is not applicable for everyone, but
No, no.
what you don't realize, I think, for most people is in that part of the world, there's so much opportunity. I uh I say this to people all the time. If you're going to Banff and you plan on doing hiking, there are some great options. But if you only have one to do, I think the best one is Mount Beaujeu, which is
Yeah, I
just
haven't done
outside
it.
of Banff. It is incredible. It's about a mile of vertical elevation gain. So similar to the big ones around there, like
Yeah,
Rundle or Cascade,
yeah,
which are also good, but Beaujeu is better because you start off the first couple of hours you're in the trees, but you have to start early in the morning anyway. So you're just kind of in the trees as the sun's coming up. But there are plenty of clearings where you have these amazing views all over the valley, like going up towards Lake Louise or down towards Ben.
yeah,
And it just gets the sun gets higher and you get higher, and it almost feels like you're climbing with the sun. But you get out and then you hit a couple of really amazing viewpoints along the way up where there are a couple of lakes. There's really only about one little switchback section where it's a bit of a scramble. But once you get through there, you get up on top and you have amazing views over towards Sunshine.
Oh, sick.
and then you get to the top, and it's got incredible views. I just think, for me, it was a way better hike than Cascade. So the best hike in Banff, Mount
Better
Beaujeu,
than Cascade.
better than Cascade. I'll tell you why. Because Cascade it feels like a long slog,
I've heard that.
and the views are incredible at the top. They really are. But you're so exposed for so long, it just feels like a long slog, and the way down is brutal. The worst thing about Cascade, though, is that you get to you where you start, you have to go down before you go up,
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
right? And on the way back down, when you get to the bottom, you have to cross over a river, and then you have to go back up to get to your car. Brutal,
Yeah.
but it is
I,
worth it. It is worth it. It is worth it. Don't get me wrong, but Beaujeu is better.
see, you've done two hikes that I haven't done, and I live in the area. That's what I'm talking about, right? Like, I need to. I feel like I need to get out there more, and do more hikes, and it only help.
It's a
It'll only help with my training.
it's a great day out, in it, hiking.
Yeah.
Because those big ones, it is literally a whole day out, and you're out all day, and you're just in nature constantly.
Yeah.
You just feel so in tune with everything. Like, it's hard to have a bad day when you're out hiking unless a bear comes and eats you.
Or you roll your ankle halfway in or something.
Yeah, but it's better to roll your ankle. I'd way rather roll my ankle out in nature than roll it
At work.
at work or in some shithole.
Yeah.
Although,
Yeah. No, I agree.
if you're in a shithole, you're probably closer to a hospital.
Yeah. But you might
Pros
be
and
closer
cons.
to
Pros and cons.
you might be closer to a roadman, and you won't be able
Yeah,
to get
gotta
away.
watch out. Gotta watch out. That's a great goal. What's
Yeah.
your next one?
Well, I mean, I can say I'm going to do more hikes, but I think my goal is to do like either one a month or 12 plus in the whole year. So, like saying you're going to do a summit every month means I will encounter snow. So I'm like, I don't know about that. That's pretty epic if you enter like an avalanche path or something. So I'm like, I'll just say 12 in the whole year. So I might just bang them out in the summer kind of thing.
Well, I'm looking forward, and I hope I speak for some of the sports fans as well. I'm looking forward to seeing messages from you from the top of these mountains as you climb them.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll post it up on the page.
Can't wait. What's your next goal?
This one's been on my hit list for, what am I, 36? It's been on my hit list for maybe 8 to 10 years. And
Okay.
it's been in the back of my brain, and it's time to pull the trigger. It's the 1,000-pound club. I get so close, and yet it takes so much to get the last few 10, 20, 30, 40 pounds. And every year I fall short.
So let me get this right. 1,000-pound club, that's a combined deadlift, squat, and bench press.
Correct.
So 1,000 pounds total for all three.
Yeah.
And 1,000 pounds for everyone not in America is about 450 kilo.
100 pounds is 220 pounds is 100 kilos. So
I think it's about 450 kilo.
about that, yeah.
So 1,000 pounds. Okay. Do you? That's a lot, eh?
Like right now, like my 1 rep max dead is 385. My 1 rep max back squat is 270. and then my bench is 225.
That's
Now
two
I've had
plates, right?
2 plates, yeah. So like, it's frustrating because like in other previous years I've had higher squats, in other previous years I've had higher bench, but it seems like the last few years I've always had a higher dead, and you will always have a higher dead. But I've lost some in my squat and I've lost some in my bench. So I'm always floating around this like 900 to 925 pound kind of area, and I just can't eclipse the last 75 pounds. So I need to crack on.
Can I ask, what are the rules for this? Like, how it doesn't have to be all done in the same day, right?
No, no. So like, so let's just say, I don't know, I test my 1 rep max on each thing. I would say once every 3 months or something. If I hit
Okay.
if I hit 405 on dead, I don't know, 350 on back squat, and I'm not feeling it or whatever, a few weeks later I can attempt dead bench press. But
Right. Okay.
or,
So it doesn't have to
or,
all be on the same day.
no,
It's
no, 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 no. Like if you hit those numbers at any given time and you add them up and it equals 1,000, that's 1,000.
right. Okay. I only know one power lifter. I'm sure he's watching. If he is watching, that's great. You know your name. You know who you are, Mr. Lake Louise. Let us know. What does Corey need to do to get to the £1,000 club? And let us
Do I
know
know?
if yeah, you know him.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't know if
I know.
he's a £1,000 club member. I assume he must be.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll see. Okay, that's another cool goal.
Yeah.
Do you have another one, a fifth one?
Uh, Not really. Like a few little like diet things that I wanna just accomplish. Not so much challenges, but just cleaner eating, less alcohol, not so much processed. Like all the key things, you know.
Okay. Well, I only have 4 goals as well.
Yeah.
I was trying
Far
to think
away.
of a fifth one. But what I will say is, we discussed this already, and it's good that we only have 4 goals, really, because we can add one, which is our a goal that we both have to do,
Right.
which I think we both wanted to do 50 more episodes next year,
Oh yeah.
which is, close to one a week. Basically means one a week.
Yeah.
And that consistency of to keep doing this, I think at this point it feels easy.
Yeah.
I have to say that I really enjoy doing this, and I really want to keep doing it as well.
Yeah.
So that's the first. It's not really an individual goal, but it's something that we want to do. That we want to
A
get out
team
there
goal.
is a team goal. There we go. Now we're cooking on gas. So okay, my first goal is I want to run 1,000 miles in 2024.
1,000 miles, 2024, 365 days. What are you looking at? Like how many miles a month?
So it works out to be about 20 miles a week.
20 miles a week. 80. Oh yeah.
And actually, it's worth saying, next year, 2024, is a leap year, so we get 366 days.
Attaboy.
Nice little
You get
bonus, free day, woo!
you get a rest day.
Yeah. What's the rest day?
So a thousand miles for the sports fans is 1,600 k's.
Yeah, if anyone actually uses kilometers instead of freedom units, then yeah, 1,600 kilometers.
Okay,
It's about 20 miles a week.
20
Now,
miles a week.
I did 21 miles this week. So 20 miles a week is not unattainable. It's a fairly reasonable goal. The hard part is doing 20 miles a week every week
Yeah,
and maintaining that level of consistency. You'll notice a theme, I think, with my goals is that the overarching theme is consistency. I'm
yeah.
not proposing to do anything that's outrageous. I'm just proposing being consistent and staying on top of my goals and doing a little bit every day. Because as we know, Rome wasn't built in a day, but it was built a little bit every single day.
I used that the other day at work, and I don't know if I don't know if it lifted the boats as a rising tide, but I could see there was some thinking involved, and I feel like I
Mm,
inspired others.
well, that's what we're here to do, right?
Um, off topic, but not off topic. Did you hear about the guy
Sorry
that
about that.
ran? Did you hear about the guy that ran the the tube system? Was it last year or the year before? Did you hear about this?
No, you don't have to tell me.
So I forget his name, and that's irritating. But this guy, he set out with a goal to run the entire distance of the tube system.
Shit, that's a long way.
Yeah, but the crazy, so like he mapped it out. There's like I don't know. Is there a red line or a blue line? Like how does it work?
They've all got different names.
Okay, so for the lack of my like for my ignorance, let's just say the red line was like 50 kilometers long. So he would run that.
Right,
He would run the red line, end it that day. But then the next day, it could have been the yellow line, which was like 5Ks. So
right.
he'd run the yellow line, and then the green line was like 60Ks, and then the purple line was 80Ks. Like he was doing this every day, and he did like
Shit.
however many lines there are. I think there's 10. Is there 12 tube
I think
lines?
it's about 12. Yeah, that sounds
Yeah,
right.
10 to 12. Yeah, so like yeah, he did that for 12 days straight, just running the tube lines of different lengths.
Now, did he do that in place? Like, was he following where the lines kind of are?
I think so. I don't think he was in the tube. I don't think they stopped the
No, no,
tube
no.
line
I
and
mean,
run.
like
Yeah,
above the ground, kind of where the line goes.
yeah,
It's kind of cool.
yeah. So yeah, he did that,
I'll
and
have to look that up.
yeah, I forget his name. I'll send you the link. But yeah, it's super interesting.
Well, I'm not doing anything funky like that, but but the goal is 1,000 miles, and I'll tell you, like I've only really started running a few years ago, and I love it. I genuinely feel that I need to do it.
Yeah,
If I don't do it, then I never feel quite right. I
yeah.
don't.
It's the one thing for me where I'm like in the Iron Man kind of spectrum. Like I was always a pretty good swimmer, but it was good to restart it. And like the bike, I feel even though I mountain bike, road biking is very different. So I feel like the road
Mhm.
bike is my kryptonite. It's my weakness. So I just got to put more miles in that to get it. But the run, because I've been running over the last like X amount of years now, I feel like you. I feel like that's my strong suit in this. Where if you asked me like a few years
Yeah,
ago, if you asked me a few years ago, oh, how do you feel about running? I'll tell you to fuck off. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
No, and I was the same.
Yeah.
I had zero interest in running at all until about 5 years ago,
Yeah.
and I remember the there was there was one time where I the vision popped into my head that I should try and do a running race, and there just happened to be a half marathon coming up in a few months, and I thought I could never do that. But then the
Yeah.
next morning, I woke up and I thought I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to run on the treadmill. And I'm going to see if I can even run 1 mile. And I did. I ran 1 mile, but I was blowing out of my ass. I couldn't believe how difficult it was. But I was surprised that I was even able to do it. And I don't know if I knew on that day that I was hooked, but I was. And I did that half marathon. Remember, we trained a couple of times together, and we ran
Yeah.
around the golf course in Banff.
Yeah. Yeah. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was only about 2 or 3 months after I'd, you know, done any running ever. And now I'm just hooked. I can't imagine not running. When I go on holiday to a new city or new wherever, the first thing I do is think, "Oh, where am I going to go running?"
Yeah.
And there's no
I,
better way to explore a city, I don't think, than getting up early on the first morning there, while everyone else is still in bed, and you just run around the whole city and see what's going on. And then you come home, get yourself showered, and you show everyone else. Then this is where it's cool. This is where I saw.
I did exactly that, exactly what you just said in Seattle a couple of months ago. I sprung out of bed. I was like, okay, had a few beers. I need to go for a run. Need to take the dog out. Left the hotel.
Seattle's a good city for that. I did the exact same when I went. I was in Seattle with my parents back in March. And the
Yeah.
first thing I did in the morning was get up and go for a run around.
Yeah. Except I don't know the last time you were there, man, but like it's pretty hardcore now. It's, like you could take a wrong turn down a street and end up at Skid Row, right? So I'm running
Yeah.
with the dog. I'm running with the dog, and I'm like, oh fuck me. So I just ran straight to Pike Place Market and then straight down to like the boardwalk, and I followed the boardwalk to like some crazy industrial area, and I was like, okay, I'll turn around, and ended up doing like 12K run, and get back to the hotel, and everyone's showering and getting ready, and I was like, okay, let's go here. I found this. I found that. I found like check this out. Check
Yeah.
this out. It's cool.
Yeah, we've had the same experience there then, right?
Exact same.
So yeah, I love it. I love it. I can't get enough of it. So I want to be more consistent with it. And 20 miles, I don't think is that crazy because it's you can do it in 3 runs,
Yeah,
or you can do it in 4 runs comfortably. So I don't think it's that insane. So that's goal number one.
perfect. Love it. Number two.
Number two, I'm going to do 50,000 push-ups.
You're out your mind.
So 50,000 push-ups works out to be about 140 a day,
Fuck.
which isn't that crazy.
Can I add something?
Right? Yeah, go on.
Uh,
Please.
what about different hand positioning?
What about it?
So, as far as like a functional movement uh, goes, unless you're pushing cartoon blocks like Bugs Bunny, like like that, there's no real like application for the basic push up.
Okay.
So what about different hand positioning like diamond?
So you're suggesting changing it up.
Yeah, like because it's gonna work. It's gonna work different areas of the pec, the shoulder, the triceps. Now this is your goal. I just thought I'd throw that in because if you do 140 a day at the typical way, I don't know. You might get bored with it, or you might develop. You
Well,
might. I don't know if anyone's done that much push-ups in a year. Maybe more, maybe less. But you're gonna develop.
I'm sure someone has.
You might. I don't know. Body
Well,
dysmorphia might also be a thing.
That's an interesting thought, and I will bear that in mind, and I will adjust it if necessary.
There you go. That's your call. That's your
Well,
goal.
hang on a second.
What'd you do?
You're gonna have to pause. My mother is calling, and she's called about 3 times. Can I call you back? Is this urgent, or can I call you back? Sorry about that. We're back. My mother called about 4 or 5 times in a row. So I thought that it was urgent.
Yeah.
Turns out it wasn't very urgent. I'll tell you what happened. I bought a new laptop, so I gave them my old one, and they wanted to test out calling from the laptop on FaceTime.
Definitely not urgent.
So forgive me for interrupting, but that's what happened.
Oh, good.
I was just, when you have parents that are, over 60, when they call a few times in a row.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I better call back. Anyway, so that's goal number 2, is 50,000 push-ups. In one form or another. I will keep you updated as to what the form is.
The only reason why I said that though is because like yesterday, for the first time in a long time, I did the diamond push-ups, and holy fuck, man, it like just cuts you everywhere.
Is that more the so it's your arms are closer, so is that more in the arms?
Yeah, your elbows are tucked in like hard, and
Yeah.
you're kind of like the diamonds are like right in your chest, so it's like shoulders are engaged, different parts of the chest are engaged. It's like, yeah.
I'll give them a try.
Yeah, give it a crack.
And I'll let you know.
Maybe not 140 because you probably wouldn't be able to pick up a toothpick the next day, but
no, but if you're doing 140 a day, you could do 20 in 7 different styles.
Exactly, right?
Okay.
Something to consider. But that's your goal. Goal number 3.
Goal number 3 is the same as your goal of reading, where, again, 12 books, pretty basic, 12 books. The reason why I got to 12 books, 2 reasons. Obviously, one, it's one every month.
Yeah.
But second, I kind of like how nice and round number this is. There's about 30 days in a month.
Yeah.
10 pages a day means around 300 pages, which works out to be about a book. Generally.
Yeah.
So it's a nice round number, 12 books a year.
Love it.
My 4th goal is one that I'm actually, I think, most excited for. It's not really related to fitness or anything like that. But it's a gratitude goal, really. Ooh. I want to, every single day in 2024, I want to share gratitude, whether that's giving someone a genuine compliment or just telling how much I appreciate someone, and sharing with a different person every day why I'm grateful for them and how they've made my life better.
Yeah, man, that's sick. That's awesome.
So that's uh, that's one that I'm really looking forward to, because I think that we we forget how good we've got things, and we
Now,
forget a lot of the good things that people do for us. So I want to share gratitude with everyone.
now you mentioned that you'll be touching down in Canada in a few hours. So, how are you going to share gratitude on January 1st when you're mid-air by yourself on a plane?
Well, I will. I'll be. It's not to worry about, because I will be landing. I'm not flying the whole day. It's not a 24-hour flight.
Right.
But there are people in Canada that I want to share some gratitude with as well. So
Right, but I'm kind of just poking the bear,
you're
okay?
worrying too much about the logistics of this.
No, I'm just poking the bear a little bit because, like, if you ever get into a position where you're like, I'm going to share gratitude every day, and you get into a position and you haven't seen anyone, you haven't talked to anyone, you this, that, or the other, how are you going to do it? Are you going to walk into your
Uh,
local news agency and
no, 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 no.
be
I
like,
figured. I
hey,
figured it
man,
out.
okay,
I figured it out. They've got these things called telephones, and I'll just call them and be like, "Hey."
I was really hoping you were going to go down to the local news agency and thank the guy for giving him the newspaper to you. Just be like, thanks, man, you done great.
Maybe I will. I don't know. I don't know if I know 366 people, so I might have to double up on some people.
Oh, that's funny that it's a
But
leap year.
that's my final goal. And I want to actually start and say thank you to you, Corey Brogan, because we touched on it earlier about how much fun we're having doing this. And it genuinely has been amazing. And I want to thank you, because I don't think I would have done it without you. I don't think I would have done it myself. I don't know if I could have done anything like this myself. So I want to thank you for being just the right amount of crazy to actually just do something really whack like this, and
I
to run with it. And I think we're going to have a great time doing it. Even though we've been having a great time already, we're going to have even more fun to come. And it's been really meaningful for me to do this. So thank you.
well, I'm privileged, honored, and I'm stoked to be here and doing this with you, brother. This is it. We're gonna have a time.
We are. I want to wrap this up, but we do need to remind everyone that next week's show is going to be pretty special.
Very special.
We're going to be in the same room. It's going to be quite loud, isn't it? We're going to be shouting a lot, I reckon.
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be. Yeah, we have to figure out a way how to not have us talking over each other. I have to look for visible cues.
Yeah, and we'll figure it out. And if we do talk over each other, then whoever's loudest wins.
Well, we know who wins that.
Not today though, with my lack of mic.
Yeah, you make sure you make sure you bring all your tech with you. Okay.
I'll try and remember it all. Anything that we've forgotten? Anything that we need to add?
Christmas goals. Next week's episode.
That's about it.
I think we're on par, mate.
Corey, it's been a blast as usual, and I can't wait to see you, and I can't wait to keep doing this.
Yes, man.
Thank you very much.
Peace.